It's coming. It's coming. All right. So once again, thank you so much for coming to our regular book club. As a reminder and a disclaimer, this is a social club, which means it's open to the public. We are not representing any organization. We're not representing any product. We're not representing anybody. Rather, we are reading books. We're sharing our stories. And when you share your story, try as much as you can not to call names, not to call any organization, but to do what? To represent yourself, to share your own perspective, your own ideas, your own experience is your own, right? Is your own, and you don't need permission to share your own experience. But as much as possible, not call names. We're here freely to read and explain things in the way that we understand it. But now, when we read books, remember these are different authors. And they also have their own perspectives. What we're going to do is to take the things that matters to us, the things that bring value to us, and discard the ones that didn't bring value to us, okay? And today, we're going to be finishing this book, The Bottom Dollar, okay? We're going to be finishing that, and we're going to start our book, Becoming Your Own Banker, okay? So that is what is going to happen. All right, I believe there was no pending questions the last time. Today, we're starting from chapter 13. And I know a lot of people may not be here because there are certain things happening somewhere, but for you that is here, there's no better way to start your month. There's no better way to, usher yourself in than to do what? Educate and build your mind. Guys, your mind matters a lot. You see, this mind, if you feed it with everything negative, if you feed it with something different, I'm telling you, that's what it garbage in, garbage out, right? But when you feed your mind with things that matters the most, things that bring value to you, middle class Americans and Canadians or people out there, what we're seeing that people is they want to, kind of make other people feel good. Guys, it's not selfishness, it's called self-care. Take care of yourself first. And one of the ways you take care of yourself is based on what goes into this mind. What do you entertain? We hope that you entertain the right things that will push you up. At any point in time you find yourself in an environment that brings you down, walk away. It will never add value to you. You walk in there, all you see is negativity. You walk in there, is all you see somebody telling you it cannot amount to nothing. They tell you, oh, you don't belong here. Oh, how did you get here? Guys, do you know you can create your own table? Bring your own seat and sit with confidence. Sit with ownership. You can. But you have to train your mind to do that. That's why we say November is what? No nonsense month. Put it in the chat. November is no nonsense month. 100%, if possible, 110% focus. No distractions. One of my prayers this way, I say, God, no distractions, no procrastination. Procrastination is so bad that it can come in a subtle way that you will not even know. Oh, you're supposed to make that call. Immediately you pick that call. You say, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. That's procrastination. It can be dangerous. And unfortunately, there's no medicine from the medical world that have medication for procrastination. You are the doctor. You are the person that will diagnose your problem. You're the person that will give yourself medication. And you're the one that have to follow through. Nobody will do it for you. Okay? So thank you so much for coming. I'm going to make some people co-hosts to help me with those who are on. So Miss Becky, your co-host. Miss Yukemi, your co-host. Okay? Miss Mary, your co-host. Please watch those people. And of course, Bro David, I'm going to make you a co-host here. Okay. So, but as a co-host, remember that you have to mute yourself too. Sometimes they forget. All right. We're going to start with call to action. Who wants to read?
I read.
All right. What is your name and where are you calling in from?
My name is Georgina. I'm calling from Austin, Texas.
All right, Miss Georgina, take it out.
Okay. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat or beat around the bush here. We have given you the good, the bad.
What book?
Oh, the book, the bottom dollar.
Okay.
We are
Sorry.
finishing it today.
What chapter, please?
Chapter
13.
13.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat or beat around the bush here. We have given you the good, the bad, and ugly of all the various types of account that most may be currently utilizing or have potentially been looking into using. The question I have for you is, are you going to act and take your financial future into your own hands now that you are armed with a complete understanding of the frameworks of these different accounts? Or are you going to continue the insanity of not changing what is not working in your best interest? I want to retaliate that the book was written with the sole intention of giving proper financial information to everyday people who either have not been taught complete financial information in the accounts they are utilizing, or who just don't even know where to start. So this is the facts. The facts are, without knowing the rules of money and how to implement those rules the right way, you will not be able to win in the money game. It is a problem that plagues millions of people. What's even worse is that they don't have a clue they are on the losing end of financial security. I refuse to sit idly watching people unwittingly go broke over time and blindly following half truths and incomplete information just to find out at retirement that they don't have enough for the quality of life they have worked so hard to achieve over the years. If you are ready to take action, I would love to hear from you and help answer questions you may have, or help you learn how to implement the strategy that is most advantageous to your financial goals and objectives. Until we meet again, I wish you much abundance, happiness, and success. Chapter 14. Let me ask you a question. Are you at the success level you convinced for yourself when you were when you were starting your career? That's a question. Are you financially where you are yourself being in the age and space in your life? Are you fulfilled in your choosing career path? Do you have the freedom to spend the time you desire with your children, significant other, or experience the things you desire? Was not the answer to any of the questions that were no across the board for me. So don't worry, you are not alone in that regard. Don't get me wrong, though I had a great life by social standards. I had a great career. I was making great money. I knew that I will have a great life and I will not go without anything.
All right. The question is to you now. The question is sent to your way. Okay. Are you living a great life? If you're living a great life, who is the designer? Are you the one that designed the life you're living? Or is someone else framework that you're living? The answer is yours. But one thing I will say is this. If your finances are not in order, there is no greatness at all. You can only lie to yourself. If your finances are not in order, I'm telling you, anybody say, oh, have a good life. They're faking it to some point. But guess what? You have what it takes to go back and look at your financial profile. Arrange it, put it in order. Okay? Put it in order. Only you can do it. Finance is not the accounting you were taught in school. It's not the one you were taught in school. No. Your own personal finance. Okay? It doesn't matter how much you make. That's what Abba Kiyosaki said. What matters is what? How much that works for you, especially when you need it the most. So the best financial tool on earth, the best financial tool is that bucket, that strategy that helps you in any situation you are in charge. You are the owner. In sickness, you're the owner. In death, you're the owner. In good life, you're the owner. Nobody controls what you do except you. I wish I can tell you something better. You're still going to pray. You're going to pray because we all believe in some form of high power somewhere. So believe in your whatever religion you believe is fine. But it doesn't matter the religion you believe in. What is common with all of us, we are all humans. And we engage in money activities. You cannot win in the money game if you don't know the money rules. You cannot win in the money game if someone else is in charge of your money world. You cannot win in the money game if you have no clue. You're so busy pursuing the world and you never sit down one day to look at your financial profile. The day it hits, you will see that you have the whole time in the world. But guess what? You want to see heaven. Heaven is too far. Earth is too far. All your friends you're hanging around are nowhere to be found because you did not do what you're supposed to do at the right time. So I hope we will learn a lot from this book. Okay? I hope we learn a lot from this book. These are different authors writing the same thing, you know. I hope for those that miss the reading, it's okay for you to go back to look at it again. And if you have questions, ask. Again, I usually tell you guys my number is 469-487-3469. Feel free to ask any question. And I'm telling you, I deal with so many people and they've given if I don't answer your question, find a way to send a reminder. Okay? I'll definitely call you back. I'm not a text person, but I will read your text message and I will try to call you back. All right. That being said, any question Any comment regarding the book we just finished? Okay. Any
It's
question?
not completely finished.
You know,
Oh,
we have matters.
hold on. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Who wants to read? Opportunities.
It's not about. It's 89. I mean 80.
78.
Yeah, the last one is not.
It
He
will
has
start
one
from the good
page.
news.
Can
Huh?
read, Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. I'm in Charlotte, so good morning, everybody. The good news is that there's an opportunity to turn those no's into yeses. Do you feel it in your heart and soul that you have a bigger purpose or passion to fulfill your life? Do you have a calling to serve and make a massive impact in your life and, more importantly, the lives of others? Do you feel a drive for more than what you have been able to showcase for the world to see? Are you just flat out looking for the right opportunity that will allow you to fulfill your potential? The good news is that you have an opportunity for those desires to become a reality.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that we are looking for phenomenal people with big hearts, big visions, big dreams, and big desires to help us expand our agency. Now, I know what you have been thinking, but I'm not qualified, and I don't have a degree or license or anything. I absolutely understand your thoughts on that. When I was first introduced to this life-changing opportunity, I felt the same way, and I thought, I have no business here. I am not qualified. Well, here it is, the truth. Do you belong here? Do you deserve the life you desire? You are worthy. And I knew that this was a place I could become who I was born to be and have the life I desire for myself and my family. This was a place where I could fulfill my desires to help my community, build my legacy, and to be surrounded by mentors and world-class leaders that would help me expedite help me expedite the results I desire.
Thank you. Thank you. These are the good news. What the author is trying to get your attention to, they're trying to get your attention to what? To having an interest in a financial world, regardless of what your career is, regardless of what your situation, even if you're making 100 million, 200 million, 300 million. Remember what Robert Kiyosaki said? He said, what is not how much money that you make that matters. It's how much that works for you. You are qualified to do anything. I want to repeat that. You are qualified to do anything that you lay your hands to do. But you have to believe in yourself and said, I can do that. Okay? You say, who am I looking for? I'm looking for individuals with qualities over qualifications. If you are the right person and it is good, mutually beneficial partnership, we will train you and help you get your state license. If you're interested in joining the financial world, there's an opportunity, but you have to be licensed. You have to be licensed by your state. If you're here, someone invited you to this book club, we'll encourage you to consider understanding the fundamentals of US and Canada. And it's hidden in the things that does not matter. In the things that to some people is meant for a certain group of people. You're here and they're telling you to come down here. I'm sorry, if you don't come down here, you're not going to win. Sorry. You have to come down here. You have to start from where? From the grassroots. That is the goal. Okay? Get a license and all the federal and company requirement in order so that you can legitimately make money and help people in the financial industry. Qualities that qualify you for the opportunity. Someone who can pass company and federal background checks. Someone driven and with a desire to help and serve. Someone looking for a real and legitimate opportunity. someone with work ethics, someone hungry for more out of life, someone coachable, someone with a desire to become a leader in life and in business, someone committed to getting their initial license quickly, someone committed to doing what is right for the client without exception, someone who understands the importance of communication, and someone who would like to earn at the level of value they deserve, not what someone says they are worth. If you fit this qualification and you're looking for an opportunity that can potentially double or triple your income in the next 12-18 months, then we would love for you to reach out. We can have an explanatory conversation to see if we are the right fit for you and partner it. It must be mutually beneficial partnership. We're excited to hear from you and help you achieve all your dreams, hopes, and desires. Let's change more life and the world together. Okay? So, if you are here, you're looking for a legit opportunity, I will echo what the author have said. I'm telling you, financial industry, according to evidence, say that is the only industry that produces millionaires overnight. If you want to try it, give the person that invited you here a call and said, I want to look at finance. Before now, we used to think that it's those that graduated from school with accounting and finance and CPAs. They are the one that does finance. We didn't know they were taught how to go work for a gentleman, okay, called Uncle Sam, who never dies. Okay? Now, if you're going to win in your own industry, do you know you are the president CEO of your own industry? That's your house. You are the one in charge. Okay? Do you want to do something that showcases who you are and you're paid based on what you think you want, not what somebody else thought you want? Okay, I'm in Chicago today. When I was flying in yesterday, I was sitting there beside a young lady. We started talking. And she said, oh, government shutdown is affecting them. I said, hey, this government shutdown is still on. He said, yes, so they are paying me. They say I'm essential worker, but we don't know how long they're going to pay us because there's no patient. Guys, the government shutdown is impacting both the Medicare and Medicaid for those who understand that, for those in US. So if your reimbursement is coming from the client, Medicare, Medicaid, is impacting everyone. She says she worked virtually, but there's no patient because of the shutdown. But they're paying her because she's an essential worker. But she's scared because she don't know how long that payment will last for them to be paying her without service. Okay? Think about it. How many people out there are in that situation? I don't know. But in case you want to serve, in case you want to make a big impact, in case you're considering to really get much out of life, consider engaging more in financial services. You will not regret it. All right. That having been said, let me see if there's any hand up. No. All right, guys, let's grab our book. I've been looking forward to this book, guys. I've been looking forward to this book.
Dr. Ruth, are you in Chicago to do program?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm in Chicago, I would love to come.
Okay, we'll talk offline. You have my number?
Okay, I'll text you then.
Okay. All right. So let's pick up the book. How many people wants to become their own bank? Put it in the chat. You want to become your own banker, right? You want to become your own banker. Put it in the chat. Bank. Let's see how many people want to become their own banker. Bank. Okay. All right. What does the bank do? What actually does the bank do? The bank holds our money, right?
They steal from us.
Oh, okay. That's the definition. Anybody else? Let me see. Ebele. Ebele, what does the bank do? You're muted.
The bankers, they use our money to make their own money.
Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else with a different perspective, what does the bank do? Let me see. I have Henriette. Henriette, what does the bank do?
They keep people's money. They use it for business and make money because they are in the business of making money.
Okay. So, which means, are you going to join the business of making money today?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Otega. Dr. Otega, what does the bank do?
They hide information from us, turn us to moguls. For those who don't know what mogul is, fools.
Good word.
They turn us to fools and blindside us to maintain whatever information they give to us as the best information.
All right. What Gifty, what does the bank do?
They give you back the money that you have put in that account, your account. They give it as a loan to you and make more interest on you.
I love that. Janet, what does the bank do?
The bank give us credit card and they give us simple interest, compound interest, and when they use our money to make compound interest.
Okay. So what all of you said is true. Now, all those things you said the bank does, write it down because that's what you're going to start doing by the time we finish this book. You're going to go create your own world where your money grows by compound interest. You're going to make sure you're not a mugu anymore, according to Dr. Tega. Okay? You're not going to be mugu to nobody anymore regarding your $1. You can never be mugu to nobody. Okay? You're going to make sure that your money grows by compound. You see how the bank compound and index their money? The same way from today, you're going to start compounding and indexing your $1. Okay? You're going to be willing to say, I'm going to be a hard lender. Hey, do you want $10? 10,000? I'll give it to you at 100% interest. And you have to pay within 2 weeks. Or else, not near. He said, you're going to do the same thing the bank does. All right? So I'm happy you all know what the bank does. Now we know what the bank does. Let's go see what Nash, a reputable author in America with so many years of experience. But let's start. Part 1, becoming your own banker. Who wants to read? I have a 5th edition. What edition do you have?
I can read, Dr. Ruth. My name is Catherine.
Okay, Catherine, where are you calling in from?
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead.
Becoming your own banker. This is the 5th edition. The Infinite Banking Concept is a text for a 10-hour course of instruction about
What page are you reading?
Oh, page 3.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll start again. Becoming your own banker. The Infinite Banking Concept is a text for a 10-hour course of instruction about the power of dividend-paying whole life insurance. It is not a sales tool for life insurance agents. It is education that the life insurance industry should have taught during the last 200 years. Unfortunately, the industry has concentrated on the death benefit qualities of the contract and has neglected to adequately describe the financing capabilities that it presents for the policy owners. Ironically, life insurance companies must put premium income to work in various investments in order to pay the death claims. This book demonstrates that your need for finance during your lifetime is much greater than your need for protection. Solve for this need through this instrument, and you will end up with more life insurance than the companies will issue on you. Almost everyone is familiar with the fact that
One can borrow from a whole life policy, but because of how little premiums they pay, there is limited access to money to finance major items needed during a lifetime. Yet, the need for financing for the typical person is extensive. Really, all this book adds to the equation is scale. The fact that the principles have been there all along and no one taught them to me makes me rather angry. Had I known them, life would have been much simpler and much more profitable. Someone should have recognized them and taught them long ago. But this didn't take place because of the mindset that predominates in the entire financial world. It is written for the layman, not for financial advisors, but all life agents should be thoroughly knowledgeable of its content and practice. Again, unfortunately, this is not the case. Very few of them have more than a rudimentary understanding of its qualities. The whole idea is to recapture the interest that one is paying to banks and finance companies for the major items that we need during lifetime, such as automobiles, major appliances, education, homes, investment opportunities, business equipment, etc. This book is not about investments of any kind. It is about how one finances the things of life, which can certainly include investments. It is not about rates of return. As time goes by, interest rates are up and interest rates are down, but the process of banking goes on no matter what is happening. It is a well-known fact that banks make more money during times of low interest rates than when rates are high. A word of caution is in order. Later in the book, you will be looking at illustrations of life insurance policies that show how the concept works as compared with how most folks go about solving their financial affairs. Most of the illustrations were developed in 2000 and represent dividend scales in effect at that time. Presently, interest earnings are lower and hence dividend scales are lower. But in comparison with other methods of financing the things of life, the difference in results remains the same. It is not a procedure to get quickly. To the contrary, it requires long-range planning. I'm educated as a forester, having worked in that field as a consultant for 10 years. I tend to think 70 years in the future. I won't be here, and neither will you, but there is no reason not to behave in this manner. Plan as if you're going to live forever, and live as if you're going to die today. I love that. Plan as if you're going to live forever and live as if you're going to die today. Guys, take a note of that. Circle that statement around. Okay, go ahead. So plan as if you're going to live forever and live as if you're going to die today appears to me to be a good thought. One can learn how to plan and act intergenerationally. That's one of the primary advantages of having been a forester. I learned to think beyond the lifespan of my current generation. Becoming your own banker is not a tax qualified idea of any sort. The income tax law, as we know it today, has only been around since 1913. Life insurance has been around for over 200 years and is not a creature of any tax code. It is nothing more than like-minded people contracting with one another to solve a financial problem. There is no such thing as having too much money in the bank. Wealth must reside somewhere. What better place to have it reside than here? For this residence, one can do anything that one can conceive. This is an advantage that most folks ignore in their thought process and therefore limits their effectiveness. Let me make it abundantly clear. I'm not talking about a bank in the conventional sense of the word. I'm demonstrating that one can use dividend-paying whole life insurance to solve one's need for finance throughout one's life. Hopefully, this book will give you a new perspective on the idea of retirement. I prefer to use the words passive income. That is money coming in
that you can count on and you don't do anything to earn it at that time. Study the illustrations carefully and you will see that very high premium dividend paying whole life insurance is the ultimate vehicle to produce such income. The infinite banking concept is a major paradigm shift for most folks. It will require several thorough readings for a full understanding of its message. The concept is not complicated. It is just different from the way the majority thinks and behaves. In fact, it is the ultimate in simplicity. There is an extensive reading list in the book, and you are encouraged to read them all. Education is an ongoing process, and there is no such thing as having arrived in knowledge. There have been many people that have had a glimpse of what this book is all about, but none, to my knowledge, no one has put together a comprehensive rationale such as you will see here. Read it with an open mind and you will discover a whole new financial world.
Yes. Read it with an open mind and you will discover a whole new financial world. Now, I'm going to tell you this. The author here is focusing on whole life. I want to let you know there are only two insurance in the world. Temporary insurance and whole life. Anything else, permanent insurance, is whole life and whole life modify. So I want you to have that in mind. Okay? Everything in America, Canada is temporary insurance and permanent insurance. Permanent insurances are what? Whole life and whole life modify. It could be modified to what? Variable whole life. It could be modified to index universal life. It could be modified to universal life. So note that, okay, as we move along. All right. Let's pass the acknowledgement. We appreciate him. Let's pass the content, okay? And let's go to part 1, becoming your own banker. Who else wants to read?
Dr. Ruth, I can read. Nkechi Anako, Tyler, Texas.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Nkechi.
Okay. Okay. Past acknowledgements. Okay.
Becoming your own banker.
Okay. So becoming your own banker, someone made the comment that if some authoritative power distributed all the money in the world equally among all the people in the world, within 10 years' time, 97% of all the money would be under the control of 3% of the people. I suppose that there is no way ever to measure the validity of such a statement. But I have the feeling that most people would agree that it is probably close to the truth. Even if the proportions were somewhat moderated, say 75% of the money would be under the control of 25% of the people, why do you think that this phenomenon happens? Perhaps some of the answer lies in the fact that most folks know next to nothing about the process of banking and its importance to their lives and their well-being. Banking is the most important business in the world. Without it, all business comes to a screeching halt. Whenever a business transaction takes place, money must flow from one party to another in a relatively short time, or otherwise nothing takes place. That flow of money must come from a supply source, a reservoir. That is the essence of what the banking business is all about. Someone or some organization has control of a pool of money that can and must flow at cost to meet some need. There is only one pool of money in the world. The fact that the pool is managed by any number of institutions, banks, insurance companies, corporations, and individuals in various countries with various currency denominations is incidental. To argue otherwise would be the equivalent of someone looking at the globe and observing that the Amazon River in South America flows into the Atlantic Ocean and commenting that this has nothing to do with the Indian Ocean on the other side of the globe. Nonsense. It is all part of a system. Observe that about 75% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. The sun heats it up, and some of it evaporates into the atmosphere, causing wind currents. The currents take the water vapor around the Earth, and it precipitates out in the form of rain, sleet, and snow. And somewhere along the way, some of it flows through you and me. Without it, we die. That makes it of vital importance. Pray tell, where does it end up? Right back in the oceans. The banking business is somewhat like that. Money flows from the pool through our hands to meet our needs. But somewhere in the process, it all ends up back into the banking system. It is all a matter of how much of the banking functions do you control as it relates to your needs. This book is all about how to create your own banking system so that you can control 100% of your needs, becoming your own banker. Give it your close attention, and it can make a radical improvement in your financial future.
Oh man, I like that. How much of the banking function do you control as it relates to your needs? How much of the banking function do you control as it relates to your needs? Okay, the goal, by the time we're done, help all of us will have a radical improvement in our financial future. Man, this author is like he's angry, or he's looking for a better way to push this thing out of his heart. What do you think, man? He is not messing with anybody. He's just raw. That's something I'm looking at. Someone is raw and angry at the same time. Okay. All right. Who else wants to go? How the infinite banking concept got started. Who wants to read?
I'll read if you want me to.
Okay.
All
What's
right,
your
I don't
name and
have.
where are you calling in from?
I am Michelle. I'm calling in from Stephenville, Texas.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
First, a bit about my background. I was educated as a forester, graduating from the University of Georgia in 1952. A large portion of the root thought of this concept is coming from the study of forest finance. The fact that you are dealing with compound interest over a long period of time with no taxation of the buildup. The reverse The reverse fact is that you must make an investment and you won't see any result for that same long period. In the forestry world, you must think many years into the future. I worked as a forestry consultant for about 10 years. Some of it is coming from the life insurance business. I made a good living in life insurance sales for over 30 years, knowing how dividend paying life insurance works is a central ingredient to it all. Most people have a minimal understanding of the subject, including the home office personnel at life insurance companies. That is strange, but very true. Lastly, it was strongly influenced by my experience in the real estate business. Timber is a form of real estate, as well as the land on which it grows. So I've been around real estate for all my working life, and I developed a strong interest in the subject, studying many books on it. If you read these books, the central message is not about real estate at all. It is about the magic of leverage. Essentially, they all say, buy some real estate, borrow the money to pay for it, because you are always dealing with borrowed money. You either borrow or pay interest, or you use your own money to give up interest that you could have earned. Pay interest for a while, then sell a property. All you have given up is the interest you have paid out. The leverage is wonderful. This is all true as long as things are going the way the financial geniuses describe it, but they never tell you what happens when the leverage goes the other way. Frankly, I made some money in the late 70s doing it the way geniuses explained it. Someone remarked that financial genius is the rising market. There were several successful ventures in a row, and it looked like there was no end to this bonanza. I could do no wrong. The ventures got bigger and bigger, and I got more and more involved, buying a large number of acres of rural property. Then I got into real estate development. With the profits of one small parcel, my wife and I went to Europe in 1977 and spent a month. Would you believe it? I've never seen that property yet. And I did it according to the book of financial geniuses. Leverage other people's money. Just have your realtor finance such a deal and attend all the particulars for you and then sell it for you. Marvelous. I don't know if you want me to keep going or not. You want me to keep going?
Yes, yes.
Okay. There was no logical reason
So before
not
you
to.
continue, I want someone to mark that place. Leverage other people's money, OPM.
Right.
Guys, you can never increase your financial worth if you don't understand the concept of OPM, other people's money. How can you leverage that? That's one thing you're going to open your mind and brain in this book. How to use other people's money. And that's what the bank does, right? The banks are number one in using what?
Other
OPM.
people's money.
They
Okay.
are number one. That's one thing we're going to learn here. Other people's money. Go ahead.
If I'm reading too fast, please tell me. It doesn't, anybody,
Okay,
let me
slow
know if
down.
I'm reading too fast.
Slow down.
There was no logical reason not to expand. And so I did. Wait. Okay.
Yes.
The interest rate at that time, prime, at that time was 8%. But you must pay 1.5% over prime, now referred to as base rate. Because the bankers are not lending you money because you have real estate, they are doing it because they think you can make payments. Why else would they require personal endorsement on the loan? And you must renew the notes every 90 days at the current interest rate. I got accustomed to paying 9%, and that was just normal. And then along came 1981 and 1982. The prime rate rose and peaked at 21.5%. Add 1.5% on top of that, and you see my situation. 23% interest on $500,000. That amounts to 67.5 or 67,500 of interest per year that I was not expecting to pay. When this happens to you, what do? Go ask the financial genius who recommended that you do this. What do I do now? If you can find them, they may mumble something like selling the real estate. But where do you find a fool that would buy it under those conditions or circumstances? Of course, everyone must sell if you get the price low enough, but losing 5 times what you paid for is hardly a good way out. But so far, you have heard only a part of my story. The beginning of my awakening was in November of 1980, when our first grandchild was born. Interest rates had begun to zoom upward. That was Bunker Hunt's heyday. You remember him. Bunker and his brother were going to corner the silver market, and as a result, silver pieces increased higher than anything, relatively speaking. Gold went up to $800 per ounce, and so drug junkies started supporting their drug habit by stealing silver from homes. While my wife was visiting our new granddaughter some 60 miles away for several days, the thieves broke into our home at 3 p.m. and cleaned us out. Have you ever been burglarized? You won't believe what they can do to a house in just a few minutes. Luckily, I got to clean up the mess. If my wife had seen it, I don't believe she would ever feel comfortable leaving the house again. 2 months later, my 52-year-old brother dropped dead from a heart attack while playing racquetball with his son. Poor selection of ancestors. Our father died at age 64 from the same problem. 5 months later, a second granddaughter was born out in Hawaii. 5 weeks later, her parents discovered that the baby had cancer. I didn't even know the babies could get cancer. She went on chemotherapy when she was 6 weeks old. 6 months later, she went through surgeries to remove the tumor on her right adrenal gland. The cancer was neuroblastoma, the very rare kind that attacks children. The lesions had involved her liver, and she had to go back on chemotherapy for several more treatments. The story has a good part. She is now 25 years old and cured. We have seen a miracle. And now for the financial bad news. It was that summer that interest rates went to 23%, and there I stood owing $500 under those circumstances. When a number of bad things like this occur in fairly rapid succession, it increases the quality of your prayer life dramatically. The basic idea revealed in the infinite banking concept was born over a period of many months at 3 to 4 a.m. in the kneeling position, praying, Lord, please show me a way out of this financial nightmare that I have created for myself. The answer came back about came back about like a baseball bat across the eyes. You are standing in the midst of everything it takes to get out, but you don't see it because you look at things like everyone else. You can get to money during those financial times at 5 to 8% from 3 different life insurance companies through policies that you own. The only thing that limits how much you can get is the same thing they tell you at the bank when they ask how big of a check you can write. How much have you put in? If I had not accustomed to paying very large premiums, it is doubtful that I would receive the message. Hardship often helps us to see the things which we are normally blind. It was evident to me that I needed to increase my life insurance premiums dramatically to create a pool of cash values from which to borrow off the bankers that I owed. Borrow to pay off the bankers that I owed, I'm sorry. But I owed $500,000. How could I do both? Honest introspection revealed that I could revise my spending pattern. This was a starting place. When I started teaching others how to design their financial dealings along these lines, my income tripled. Practically everyone thought I was crazy. It was opposite to what all the experts said. But an objective look at the facts of how life insurance worked, plus reason and logic, and continued sessions of intense prayer for guidance has proved that the system works. Maybe you have found yourself in a financial prison, or maybe you want to develop a system that will keep you out. Maybe yours is smaller or greater, whatever. The principles are the same and they will serve you well. It requires understanding. It requires discipline to implement the idea, and it can change your life dramatically, even beyond your wildest dreams.
Wow. Wow. So look at this. I want you to look at this. Yeah, this is a story of his journey. But did you notice that all of a sudden emergencies begin to happen? Right? It started from giving birth to a grandchild, right? To what? To a 52-year-old brother dying. Okay. From there, another child was born who accidentally was developed or was diagnosed with what? Cancer. These are all unplanned emergencies that can do what? That can screw your financial situation that you never planned. Okay. He went on. His bank, the interest has risen from where? From 8% from 9.5% to 20-something percent over the $500,000 he owed. But he accidentally remembered that he can also drop that percentage to 5 to 8% from the different life insurances he owed. But the problem became, how much premium is he paying? He said, if I had not been accustomed to paying very large premium, it is doubtful that I would have seen the message. Hardship often help us to see things to which we are normally blind. It was evident to me that I needed to increase my life insurance premium dramatically to create a proof of what? Cash value from which to borrow to pay off the bankers that I owned. But I owned 500,000. How could I do both? Okay. So if you're here, you have a life insurance product, especially if you have a permanent life insurance. How are you funding it? How are you funding it? Because, the middle class are tricked into, it's life insurance. You don't need to put a lot of money in. Then some people, when they run the illustration, they run sub for you so that the money will be so small. But you didn't know that it's garbage in, garbage out. What you put in is what you get. It's not an investment. Life insurance is a protection. So whatever you put in, they will first of all take the cost of insurance. Whatever is left is what is going to compound for you. If you have taken your money and put it in the bank, instead of you, now you're privileged, you're lucky to have your own banker through your life insurance to, put in as much you can put in. No, you're watching the social media that say, oh, don't put a lot of money. Here it is. How you fund the account determines whether you're going to be your own banker or not. Let me tell you the truth. I'll repeat that. How you fund your own life insurance product determines whether you're going to be your own banker or not. But let's read on. All right? Let's read on. I love the way he described this journey. One thing I will point out from this journey he described is that I want to remind you, nobody is immune to emergencies. Nobody. No single person is immune to emergencies. Nobody have control over emergencies. But you know what you have control over? You have the control to plan for the emergencies. You have the control to plan. Knowing that the market can jump up, it can jump down. The interest can go up and down depending on how the Fed, Mr. Fed, is feeling at that moment, right? But what control do you have? Let's read on. Who wants to read the next page? Imagination. Go ahead. Anyone can read. Tell us your name and where you're calling it from.
My name is Lucy. I'm calling from Plano, Texas.
Lucy, we can't hear your voice. It's like you're far away from where you are.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm from Plano, Texas, and I'll read. Imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge, says Albert Einstein. The infinite banking concept is an exercise in imagination, reason, logic, and prophecy. So to start out, let's begin with the part about imagination. To help stimulate your imagination, let's go back in time to the late 1700s. The German schoolmaster was having trouble with his boy that day. There were rowdy 7-year-olds. He wanted to quiet them down and to punish them, so he gave them a problem. Add up all the numbers, 1 through 100. The boys got their slates down and started to work on the problem. His plan seemed to be working, except for one boy who just sat there staring out the window. Presently, he picked up his slate, wrote down a number, and turned it in to the schoolmaster. Since his was the only correct answer, the schoolmaster took note of the fact and asked the boy how he did it. The boy said, I visualized a line with the figure 1 on the left side and the figure 100 on the right side. Then I cut the line at the half point, 50, and folded the scale to the left so that there were now 2 lines that were parallel. 100 was lined up with 1 on the left side, and 50 and 51 were lined up on the right side. Adding the 2 numbers on each end of the scale was easy to do. I noticed that all the pairs of numbers in between on the scale added up to 101, 2, and that there were 50 pairs of the set of 101. Multiplying 101 times 50 is simple. The total was 50-50. Thereafter, the young boy received special tutoring, and he later became...
We lost you. Lucy, we lost you. All right, someone else.
Oh dear, so sorry. Okay. My hand toggled the mute button. I didn't realize. Apologies. I noticed that all the pairs of numbers in between on the scale added up to 102, and that there were 50 pairs of the set of 101. Multiplying 101 times 50 is simple. The total was 5,050. Thereafter, the young boy received special tutoring, and he later became one of the 3 greatest mathematicians of all times. His name was Carl Gauss. Young Gauss did not invent that fact. He discovered what God had done already. he discovered a relationship between numbers that is fixed and nothing can be done to change it. Now that we understand this fact, we can take a shortcut in getting the answer. Whenever we are adding anything beginning with 1 and ending with a multiple such as 10, 100, 1000, and so on, you simply pick the midpoint in the first case cited above, 50, and simply put that same figure alongside it, 50, 50. So to add all the numbers 1 through 1000, you simply pick the midpoint, 500, and put 500 alongside it, 50,000 and 500. Simple and accurate. It is fixed.
500,000, 500,000.
Yes. Simple and accurate. It is fixed. Try to pass some law to change that fact, and you are engaging in an exercise in futility. Nevertheless, somewhere in the past, I have heard that a legislature in some states tried to get the mathematical term pi changed from 3.1416 to 3.00 because it was too complicated and cumbersome. These demigods could not conceive that they were dealing with a fixed relationship that they could not change and had no authority over. But therein lies the story of mankind since time began.
For most of you that have gone to school to read mathematics, okay? Whenever we are adding those numbers, we reach out to you, okay? But it's just imagination. Imagination with fixed numbers. The truth is that whatever you imagine, if you can focus and work on it, you have a result that you need that nobody can change because your imagination is coming to reality. Okay, but this is math here. Okay. Let's go to the next page. Who wants to read? Someone else.
I can read, Dr. Ruth.
All right, your name and where you're calling in from.
Okay, me from North Carolina.
Okay, go ahead.
The grocery store. To continue with the imagination exercise, I would like to examine the process of getting into a business in which you are both a consumer and a seller of the same thing. There is a very significant reason for this exercise, so bear with me. A grocery store will easily meet these qualifications. Everyone consumes groceries, and someone has to perform the distribution function. You have an unlimited market. Everyone is a potential customer, as well as you and your family may be some other captive customers. You start it all by studying what the grocery business is all about. All the things that are necessary to be successful as an entrepreneur in this field. This is going to take some time and expense. When you feel competent to start the venture, you must now find a good location for the business. The real estate folks says there are 3 important things about real estate: location, location, and location. For such a property, you are going to pay dearly. This is not an overnight activity either. You are going to have to spend some time locating the right place. Then you must construct a very nice looking building on the property. It must have a well-arranged interior and attractive equipment and fixtures and display cases. All this is necessary because your competition has been hard at work for years in attracting customers. Customers are going to do business with stores that are convenient, that look good, and they have quality merchandise and low prices. This means that the building is going to cost you a lot of money. Now you must stock the store with groceries. The merchandise must be of good quality, attractively displayed, and have competitive prices. Your employees must be attentive to customers' needs. courteous, and neat. This is going to cost you a lot of money too. You open the front door for customers. They come in and load their cart with groceries and take them by the cashier who collects their money at the front of the store. This is going to leave empty spaces in the display of goods. Your hired help is busy cruising the aisles, noticing where goods have been sold and quickly going to the storeroom at the back of the store to get more things to fill up those spaces. It is imperative that the store appears fully stocked at any given time. The customers demand it. Have you ever been to a grocery store that was only partially stocked? Did you continue to patronize that store, or did you take your business to another store that was more conscious of this quality?
I like that. I like that scenario there. Fully stocked at all times. Okay? And that is true. When you walk into the store, you see during Thanksgiving, when they have those panic mode. Have you all seen the panic mode? And they say tissue is not going to be available. Everybody's running, kitty, kitty, kitty. They want to go finish all the tissue. And you come and say, do you know there's no more tissue in the store? It's empty. And they will leave it empty. The same thing applies to us. Okay? Are you an empty person? What is your life filled with, especially your financial world? What is it filled with? An empty person really have nothing to offer. They can only make noise. They can only offer you negativity. This one is talking about imagination, but I'm bringing it to us as a human person, a human being, someone that is on the quest to make sure they have sound financial knowledge, sound financial system. Are you empty or are you full all the time? You cannot be full all the time if you're not going out there and looking for an opportunity to build, to always build, continue. Be a continuous learner, a long life learner. Is that what they say? Where is Professor Nick? Is she here today? They call it a long life learner, right? Is that what they call it? Right? Continuously learning. Don't leave.
Lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner. Thank you. Okay? Are you a lifelong learner? Or do you want to quit halfway? I know the stories they are telling here may not make a whole lot of sense. How many people will quit now because they don't understand what that author is saying? It's leading us somewhere, so be patient. Okay? Go ahead.
All this means that you are going to have to restock the storeroom at other intervals to ensure that you have immediate access to a bountiful supply of goods. The objective of the business is to provide you with income and to build a business that you will eventually sell to someone else to provide you with retirement income. Once you get all this set up and in operation, the difference between the back door and the front door is a very good living. If you can turn the inventory enough times per year, if you sell a can of peas for 60 cents at the front door, you have to replace it at the back door at a cost of 57 cents. I have found this to be a shocking revelation to most everyone. Grocery stores operate on a very small margin on such items. The can of peas sitting on the shelf for sale represents inventory. You must turn the inventory 15 times just to break even. There is also that interest you must pay on the huge sums of money you have borrowed to buy the land, the building, the signs, advertising, payroll, and fringe benefits, utilities, legal fees, accounting, etc., to name a few. Turn it 17 times and you'll be profitable. If you can turn the inventory 20 times per year, you can retire early. Something dramatic happens once you get over the hump. It all reminds me of a phenomenon in physics.
You can me hold on. Did you all get the attention of what is happening here? If you do it 15 times, you can do what? You just break even. You do it 17 times, you have a profit. But you do it 20 times per year.
Retire early.
How many people will quit at the second time, third time, fourth time. They started the digital business, right? They do one time, two times, three times, they quit. It doesn't work, right? You cannot become your own banker by that system. You have to do it 15 times to even break even, which means you're trying to get your return of what? Investment. Now you have to move further. Most people, once they break even, they relax. Oh, by the way, I've gotten my money, I'm fine. But you have to do it a little bit further if you really want to have a profit. But it doesn't stop at profit, my people. Know what else you have to do? You have to actually build that your tomorrow, you're not going to come back and be doing the same grocery thing. You know, this is the first time I'm hearing how grocery store. For most of you who want grocery store, this is it right here. You don't need another school. You can go and open one with this analogy right here. Okay? But is it really amazing? What it's telling us here is the consistency of doing the same thing that brought you success. Not just sell one can and it lasts. You sell 2 cans, they say you made money. Or you get your 15 times, then you decide to do a 150-year birthday party. You call the whole world and you consume your 15 times effort. Okay? Then you start from square one. And tomorrow they say it's your neighbors, it's your friends, it's your neighbors is your enemy. You come and pray to, come and pray more. No, your problem is that you refuse to continue what you're supposed to do and you squander it before the time. 15 times you're supposed to continue to get to profit, to get to plan for retirement. But at 15 times, that is when you call the whole world. And you started this party that's, hey, destination party to Dubai. Go buy, rent a hotel, you ask all your friends to, guys, I don't know how you guys do that, you know. Someone is going to do, their birthday is their own, no? Not yours. Their own. They decide to travel to Dubai or Cancun or and what do you call it? Cruise to go do their birthday. And they require you to pay your flight, to pay your hotel, to come and celebrate them and waste your time and come back. Guys, I don't know. Maybe my thought process is good. Please forgive me. Okay, because I'm here to understand the value that it brings to me who is coming to celebrate you. I don't have a problem. You have to do what you have to do. But me that's coming to celebrate you, I'm here to see the value for me. The day your mom gave back to you, I was not there. I heard over it. And I say hello if I was there. Now you're celebrating the same birthday that woman was alone in the labor room. The whole world had to come and spend that amount of money just to celebrate that moment that one woman suffered. And don't be surprised, the woman that suffered and gave back to that child, nobody has even noticed her. They have not even called her. Don't you think it's even the woman that needs to be celebrated, right? And the man. Don't you think so? They are the one that need to be celebrated, not you. But that is off the road. But you understand what I'm trying to bring out here. 15 times you break even. 17 times you make profit. 20 times, guys, you prepare for retirement. How many times have you done that you think that's bringing value to you? Some quit in first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt. They have not even got to the point to break even, they quit. Guys, don't do that. Okay? Go ahead, you can.
It all reminds me of a phenomenon in physics. Take a pail of water to the seaside. I want you at sea level and heat it at 210 degrees Fahrenheit, and all you have is very hot water. But if you heat it up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, you have live steam with unbelievable power. The steam engine changed the world, but it doesn't happen until you get past 212 degrees. Lot of heat goes into the process up to the boiling point, but the dramatic power comes suddenly. Thus far, the business looks pretty simple, but now we complicate the picture. Assuming that
you are a male married with children, where is your wife going to shop for groceries? Your store or somewhere else? Further, assuming that she chooses correctly your store, she comes into the front door and fills her cart with groceries. Here comes the complicated part. Please pay close attention. This point is critical and requires scrupulous honesty. Out of which door is she likely to take the groceries, front or back? When delivering lectures, I ask this question and wait for answers. An amazing number will readily admit, in all probability, she wants to go out the back door, avoiding the cashier at the front door. This is a very polite description of theft. Probably more business have, sorry, probably most, give me a second, I lost where I was reading. Please pay close attention. This point is critical and requires scrupulous honesty. Out of which door is she likely to take the groceries from, or front or back? When delivering lectures, I ask this question and wait for answers. An amazing number will readily admit that, in all probability, she wants to go to the back door, avoiding the cashier at the front door. This is
Why? Why is he going to avoid cashier at the front door? That's where she pays the money, right? Okay, but she probably going to go back to the back door because my husband owns this store.
Yep.
My brother, my uncle, my neighbors, they own this store, right? Okay, go ahead.
This is a very polite description of theft. Probably more business have been destroyed or severely limited by this sort of behavior than anything else. It is a feeling among owners and those related to them that this is our business and we can do anything we want to. Unless
this is our business, we can do anything we want to. It's my business. I can wake up at 9 a.m. It's okay. Can wake up at 9 a.m. and I will go to gym from 9 to 10. And 10 a.m. I will come to my office and I will stretch. Guess what? 10 now, 4 to 5 hours is gone. This is my business. I can do anything. There's one woman I've been monitoring. I noticed that 5 a.m. in the morning, she's awake. But 11 o'clock, you probably will call her phone and she will answer you. And this is her routine. She owns her own business, but this is her routine. This is my own. How are you treating your business? You want to be a banker, right? You want to be your own banker. How are you treating your business? How are you treating your money? I'm going to use church scenario as an example. All of you are member of one church or congregation or one mosque or the other. The same way you come to church, you dress up, you look elegant, you focus. Do you have the same focus on the business of your own? The business God handed over to you, your own business. Do you have the same focus, the same attention? It's our business. We can do it. Oh, let me go through I don't need to pay the money. Do you know that each time you do that, you interrupt the 15 times, right? Getting to your breaking even becomes so hard that it may not happen. Imagination, no? Imagination. All right, keep reading, you Kemi.
Unless this misunderstanding is curbed, the business is doomed. Consider this: over an extended period of time, can she go out the back door with her groceries without the hired help, witnessing her act? I think not. So what will the hired help do as a result? They're going to steal groceries too. You can predict it with certainty. If you are unaware of the prevalence of theft in the retail business, do yourself a favor and make friends with someone who owns or manages a retail business. Then ask about how common is theft by employees. The answer will probably shock you. Question: who pays for all this theft? The customers who go past the cashier with their goods and pay for them. That's who. It can come from anywhere else. Theft is devastating.
Just consider if your wife sells one can of peas, you have to sell 20 to make up for it. There is another thing that makes owners and their family members want to go out the back door. Every business in the United States has a silent partner, the Internal Revenue Service. If your wife goes out the front door and pays retail for her groceries just like everyone else, then your store makes more money than if she went out the back door. And the IRS posture is the more you make, the more we take. But suppose we could have a situation where the profits from the sales of groceries are not subject to income taxes. Now we have eliminated one of the incentives to go out the back door with goods. The only problem that remains is the human instinct to want to use the backdoor privilege. This urge must be overcome. Your business is at stake. However, you and your family, plus maybe some others, are captive customers for your store. You all are not going somewhere else to buy groceries. By now, you should realize that if you charge these captive customers wholesale prices, you have defeated the purpose of the business, to provide income for you and to build a business that you will eventually sell and use the proceeds for retirement income. If you charge them retail prices, you are going in the right direction. But these are captive customers. Why not charge these folks 62 cents for the can of peas? The extra 2 cents will go directly to additional capital to buy more cans of peas to sell to other customers. Hopefully, you can see what continued use of this practice can do to the profitability of your business. Do this over a long number of years and your record books will show a superior, profitable picture. When you sell your business some years later, you are in competition with someone else who has not obeyed these principles. He and his family members took their groceries out the back door. The record books of this man's business will never look as good as yours. That is, if he sells in business. In all probability, he has gone out of business long ago. But even if he is still around, can you guess which business will bring the better price? Yours. And this makes it possible for you to clip larger coupons at retirement time. I hope you've learned this little lesson well. We will revisit the grocery store later on in the book. If you understand the grocery store, the rest of learning how to be your own banker is a piece of cake.
Oh, yes. Please, let's not go back to the back door. If possible, charge them more. Okay? Treat them, depending on whatever service you find yourself. I love the story of the grocery store. At the beginning, I was like, what is it trying to tell us? But it makes a whole lot of sense. It's a principle that if you're trying to create a system, you want to create a system where everybody has to pass through, including your captive customers. They will know. If you know the theory that says, for business to grow, friends and relations must do what? Must pay. Right? For business to grow, friends and relations must pay. I don't know the business you're in today, but this exercise right here, I'm telling you, is going to solve a lot of things if you understand it. It could be on the other way around on your side. You're here, maybe you're providing your financial services, maybe. And now it's your turn to help your mother, your father. You put them at the back end. Or you come out, you didn't dress good because it's your brother or your father. Or you said, you know what, you can put them at the back end, I'll get to them. It could go both ways. Okay? But if you understand this concept, it's powerful. I'm going to mark this chapter, the grocery store story. But the one that caught my attention is the 15 times, the 17 times, the 20 times. Did you notice where it says if you take the pea, the can of peas, back to the back door, means you have to sell it 20 times. So you have to double the effort. For any mistake, it's going to cost you double the effort. You are not coachable. All right? You are not willing to go to conferences and pay and learn more about what you do. And you sleep and wake up. When you leave that thing for one day, it's going to leave you for 1 year. You're going to double your effort to come back closer to where you were before. Okay? All right, the problem. Who wants to read the problem? That's going to be
I'll
Faith.
read, Dr. Ruth.
All right, what is your name and where are you calling in from?
Lara from Texas.
All right, go ahead.
When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?"
Hey, do
That's
you
John.
want to get well, guys? Do you want to financially get well?
Yes.
I like that, Mr. David. Do you want to be your own banker?
Yes.
It's a very,
Yes.
it's a powerful question.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what the problem would be, whether you're going to get there or not. All right, go ahead.
That is John 5, chapter 5, verse 6. Several years ago, I did a good bit of study on the spending habits of American families. Since that time, I have kept an eye on the figures and the proportion of income allocated to each category. This seems to be the current situation, which doesn't seem to change all that much. I built scenarios around the all-American family because I don't want people to think you have to be rich to create a banking system that can handle all your needs for finance. This young man is 29 years old and is making $28,500 per year after taxes. What does he do with the after-tax income? 20% is spent on transportation, 30% is spent on housing, 45% is spent on living, clothes, groceries, contributions to religious and charitable causes, boat payments, casualty insurance on cars, vacations, etc. Many of these items are financed by charge cards or bank notes. The balance is financed by paying cash for them and thus giving up interest that could be earned otherwise. It is saving less than 5% of disposable income. But to be as generous as possible, let's assume that he is saving 10% and spending only 40% on living expenses. This is giving him every benefit of the doubt on the matter of savings. Just remember, the real situation is at least twice as bad as what will be depicted. The problem is that all these items are financed by other banking organizations. An automobile financing package for this hypothetical person is $10,550 for 48 months, with an interest rate of at least 8.5%, with payment of $260.05 per month. But if you will check with the sales manager of an automobile agency, you will find that 95% of the cars that are traded in are not paid for. This means at the end of 30 months, if the car is not traded, 21% of every payment dollars is interest. Even if it goes the full 4 years, the portion of every payment made is still 20%. This means that the interest portion of every dollar spent is perpetual. It never seems to dawn that the volume of interest is the real issue, not the annual percentage rate. For a real thrill, go to see the sales manager of the high-priced cars and ask him what percentage of the cars that leave their car lot are leased. The answer will probably be 75% or more. This is worse than financing a car purchase. When you go to the doctor's office to get a shot of some kind, the criteria is not the rate at which the medicine is injected into you, it is the volume. Too little, and it won't do any good. Too much, and it can kill you. Now, let's move to the housing situation. This young man can qualify for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage in the amount of about $93,000 at a fixed interest rate of 7% APR with payment of $618.75. and closing cost of some $2,500. The problem is that within 5 years, it will move to another city across town or refinance the mortgage. Something happens to a mortgage within 5 years, including the closing cost and interest paid out during these 60 months. He had paid $39,625, but only $5,458 has gone to reduce the loan. This means that $34,167 has gone to interest and closing costs. Divide the amount paid out into the interest and closing costs, and you'll find that 86% of every dollar paid out goes to the cost of financing. If he sells the house in less than 5 years, it is worse. This proportion never gets any better because it takes on a new mortgage and start all over again. He thinks that he is buying a house, but all he is really doing is making the wheels of the banking business and the real estate business in that order turn.
Man, look at that. I know some people, you need to sit down and calculate your own today, right? I'm buying a house. Man, you own a mortgage, you don't own no house. You don't own no house. Please don't go and be telling your children, it's time to buy a home. And your children graduate from school, no financial education. Now you tell them it's time to marry, no financial education. You tell them, oh, it's time to buy a house. If you marry, you're not going to live here. Guess my people, the whole thing, the problem continues. How can you pay 39,000? Only 5,000 went to. Is most of us here not a victim of that? I am, oh, I don't know about you. I pray that God will deliver me out from it. It will not happen again after today. In Jesus' name.
Yes.
Amen. Okay, I will find a way and come out of the one I will find a way and put myself out of the one I put in. And guess what? It will never happen, not in my time or in my generation. We have to fund that mortgage. Don't you think so? Interest, 34,000. 39. Okay? Man, this is horrible.
How can you do it without additional money coming in?
Oh, so you're doing it with no additional money coming in, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. How can you do it? How can you avoid doing that if you don't have money coming in from somewhere else to leverage you?
That's what we're trying to figure out here, Prof. I
That's
don't know
what we're here.
if you have alternative, please let's share. That's what we're here.
Yeah,
The
that's what
first
I'm
thing is
asking.
not the first thing is not to start. Don't even start. Actually, for our
Okay,
kids, we
prevention
have
is
to
better than
advise them
cure.
like
That's it.
Prof, you're saying that prevention is better than cure, right?
That's it.
yes,
Don't go
ma'am.
to what you can't afford.
Okay, now, so which means for 280 something people here, our discussion has to change a little bit. Okay? Oh, mommy, I'm trying to save money so I can buy a mortgage. Then you need to sit down and have a conversation. Okay? It's time to have a conversation. I'm telling you the truth. If what you're going, they are 7, I have a child of 32-year-old. Let me call that one a child, eh? To us, is an adult. But when adult does not have bread, they remain a child, correct? He saved $100,000 so he can go give them as one down payment. So he can buy that his mortgage. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the theory, right? But there's no other source of income except that clocking in and clocking out that she's doing. There's no other source of income. Now, what if they fired her? If they fire her from that job tomorrow, remember her 100,000 is gone. It's not coming back. And now maybe she stayed too long enough that she can't pay the mortgage. Guess what? The so-called mortgage is gone, even though she put in enough down payment. Even though she do what? She put in enough. She worked all her life. She did not take care of her father, her mother, nobody, because she want to put in a down payment. I must pay this house. Is that an achievement? I don't know. You think about it. But these numbers I'm seeing, 39,000, only 4,000 went. I think when I go home, I need to have conversation with my husband, honey. Let's sit down and think who is fully who here. Hmm? It is something else. Okay. So mark that page, oh, okay? And give your children, before they buy that home, tell them, hey, guys, hold on, oh. This home is not yours. Let's figure out how we can get the one that belongs to you. This one you're going to right now is not yours. Okay? And that's why we have a lot of divorce around. Because they don't even have ability to tolerate Jack. No ability. And they think they know it. Mommy, I got it. Huh? And you don't get nothing. Okay? Don't get nothing. Okay? So go ahead.
In the next segment of this spending pattern, the living expenses, you will find that the interest on his boat payment, credit card interest, plus the cost of casualty insurance on the automobiles, etc., will rival in volume the interest he is paying on the two automobiles. Later on in this book, you will learn how to self-insure for comprehensive and collision insurance on automobiles. Now, add up all the interest he is paying out, and you find that 34.5% of every disposable dollars paid out is interest. For the average, all American male, this proportion never changes. Let's assume that he is trying to save 10% of his disposable income, which is twice the average savings rate in America. That means that we have a 3.445 to 1 ratio of interest paid out as compared to savings. If you will get this young man together with his peers at a coffee break or some such gathering and have one of them suggest that they discuss financial matters, I can predict what they will talk about, getting a high rate of return. On the portion, there are savings. Meanwhile, every participant in the conversation is doing the above. What is tragedy? But that is how they have learned to conduct their financial affairs. All of this reminds me of
Who did they learn it from? From us, from social media, from assumed to be CP, accountant, financial advisor, analyst, the financial gurus. That's what he called them. All right? That's what we learn it from. Hopefully that we're going to go back and change it. Go ahead.
all of this reminds me of a phenomenon in the airplane world. I have been flying as a pilot since 1947, and I learned early on that you could not fly an airplane through a vacuum. It must go through an environment. We have all seen the weather maps with the highs and the lows. In the northern hemisphere, the highs turn clockwise. A large one can cover 75% or more of the US. So picture this situation. You are in Birmingham, Alabama, with an airplane that can fly 100 miles per hour, and your destination is Chicago. The only problem is that you have a headwind of 345 miles per hour. Regardless of what your airspeed indicator says, your airplane is moving towards Miami at 245 miles per hour. If you want to go to Chicago, that's a very good time to get your airplane on the ground quickly.
All right.
Have some patience.
All right. I want you to stop there. Okay. We're going to start from this paragraph. The next time we show up here, which will be on November 15th. Okay. November 15th, we're going to start from that paragraph. Questions, comment. Okay. Questions, comment. But before you ask or before you comment, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to book club today. Looking at this book, I think we are on a journey. We're really on a journey of lifestyle. You know, the reality is, it's like it's going to be a difficult conversation though. He's very raw. He's very raw. So fasten your seatbelt. He may not like anyone that hit you. Wasn't meant to miss you or just meant to wake you up. So don't be angry when any of the languages hit you. But remember one thing, 15 times, 17 times, 20 times, use the front door. Don't use the back door. If possible, let those your captive customers, let them pay more so that at the long run, you all will enjoy the profit later. Okay? Be ethical with your business and do things the right way. I see a follow me.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ruth. Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, family. I just wanted to, just kind of, some of the put remark on or comment on the beginning part of the book where he said that even the life insurance company, in the past, they did not do the due diligence in the sense of educating the public, the power of the insurance, how it can protect, not just in protection aspect, but also in finances, in how people can, grow their finances. So I felt that was very, very, for him to call the insurance company out, that was really good, both for him to do that. And also he made mention of something that when he said, I mean, when I read the lady who was reading the book, I was like, oh, wow, my goodness. He said that, I'll put it in my own words, like, your wealth is not based on the amount of money you have in your bank, but it's actually based on your life protection. So I thought that was really, was really a profound statement. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So I'm so passionate and so fascinated about this book that I think there's so much we can get into it. But this mortgage area that he mentioned caught my attention because there's a lot of family crisis happening because people can't pay their mortgage. Because there was no foundation given, which supposed to have come from us, right? The same way you're sending that child to school, they graduate from school, you do graduation party and all that. Could have started with the conversation of finance, how the financial system works, okay? But we never did. And of course, it's not our own fault because nobody taught us. But now we are being awakened. We are being reading this book. Let's put it to work. Tell yourself, I will never tell any of my family members it's time to buy a mortgage. Rather, you say, let's sit down and look at your financial profile. Let's have a conversation. What is your financial goals? What do you intend to achieve? Who do you want to be taking your money from? Imagine this child making 28,500. How much interest she paying from this one to this one to this one? Man, it's huge. Okay? How is he going to marry? How is he going to marry and take care of a spouse, take care of children? You see why there has to be a divorce? We always look at the divorce, but we didn't look at the triggers. This person have zero plan. Has zero plan. Even if the parents is talking, I'm telling you, they're not going to listen to the parents because you started late. Okay? You started late. We all started late. So you can see how, yes, I know we teach them how to pray, how to fast, and fast for a good wife and a good husband. My people, it's not going to hold our marriage because no love, no good woman or good man pays a bill anywhere to any mortgage house. None, none. So which means financial discussion is the very first thing that we have to focus on. And that is why I am not, or for the rest of my life, until I leave, I must make sure that one person must learn finance. Enough of this. We have to take over and become our own bankers. But I want to beg all of you. I cannot, it's hard for me to get to your home. The only way I can get to your home is reading these books together. Go practice in your home, I practice in my own home. So we can build the next generation that understand finance and walk away from the financial prison. You heard when he used it. Can we liberate our people from financial prison? We don't need anybody's help to liberate them except the knowledge. Now, some people say they can't listen. Yes, they will, but keep talking. Get their attention. Tell them the way we read here, gather them, let's read, or invite them to the book club. Maybe they are deaf to your ear. Because if we don't take care of this nemesis, the prison will be full. Let's decongest financial prison. Let's decongest financial prison. I'm telling you, it will pay us later and it will help us to have what? Tax-free, cost-free, stress-free, financial abundance, retirement. Always remember that. And I want to say thank you all so much. I'm going to run. Thank you all for coming to book club. I will see you guys same time, 15th. Bring people. You can see we're on a journey here. Bring people. Let's read. It's all about the lifestyle. Okay. 15th.
Thank you, Dr. Ron.
Let's read and let's continue to practice. Go back and do your mortgage profile. Go back right now. Your assignment. Everyone, let's go do our mortgage profile. Let's see how much we're paying in interest. How much? I know my husband brought this up last minute. He said, honey, do you know that all the money we pay, this is the only thing they say? He said, come here, we need to look and revisit this interest. Let's go do our mortgage profile. That's our assignment. Okay, let's go do that. Otherwise, I want to say thank you so much and have a nice day. Okay.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you so
great.
much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Dr. Ruth.
everyone. Thank you.
God bless.
Next weekend.
God bless you.
Thank you.